How's it going, everyone? Titanhawk here, and today I will show you how to use the YouTube Data API to search for a video. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So to start, I am here on the YouTube docs page for the API here with the search list API endpoint. So for this, it's going to be the same base URL. And as we can see here, we're just going to make sure we add search onto the end of it as a GET request. Up here at the top though, you will see that we can not only just use this for videos, we can also use this for channels and playlists. I'll show you how to do that later on in this series, but today I will start with the video. So we can go ahead and see here that this is going to be the endpoint we should hit. Our required parameters should be part, and we're going to want to set that to snippet. And then there are a bunch of other optional parameters that we can pass in. So let's go ahead and start coding. So in preparation for this video, I did run a few API requests to make sure I was hitting the endpoint and getting back some data. But I did notice that there is a lot of data that can come back with this API request. So I've gone ahead and already created the custom models. I will leave them on screen here for you now to go ahead and add them to your code. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you create a video search response custom model. Here we'll have some similar properties to the channel ID model that we had in the first video, and along with a couple new ones, it will have some items. But the most important thing here that is going to be added is, instead of an ID, or it will be adding an ID of containing a kind and a video ID and then a snippet. Now this snippet will also be part of a very important part of this here, where it actually will contain all the information pertaining to the video. So this will be the published at, when it was published at, the channel, the published time, is that channel currently live, the channel title, aka the username of that channel, and then the title and the description, and you can even get the thumbnails with this as well. One more thing I will add to this here is that items, if you remember from the first video, this can be undefined. So we will go ahead and add that check here to make sure everything looks good. Now we can go ahead and start building the API requests in our code. So now hopping back here into our YouTube service file, I went ahead and started the creation of two new functions. The first one is that we're going to export is going to be the search for video down here. We're going to want to make sure we also add that to our YouTube service. That way we can access it from our index.ts file. The next thing I'm going to do is build a utility function as to follow good modern software practices. We're going to be reusing a lot of code here to go ahead and hit the search endpoint. So since it can be used for videos, channels, and playlists, we're going to go ahead and put this all into one function. So it's going to be very similar here to the get channel ID, where we're going to say const response equals await axios service dot get. We're going to want to pass in here. This for now is what we're going to just say. This is going to be the video search response. And then inside here is where we can start passing in some of our options. So we can first say that this is going to be the base URL, and then it's going to be /search. And then here for our options, we're going to need to make sure we pass in some params. So we can go ahead and misclick there. So for here, we can go ahead and say params, and this is where we're going to need to pass in a lot. So to start, we can say our part param is going to be snippet. Our key is going to be our process.env.api_key. Then the next thing is going to be Q. This is going to be short for query. So this is really what you are searching. So when you are going onto YouTube and you type something in the search bar, this is what gets passed as the Q parameter, whatever's in that search box. So for this can be search input, which I have declared up here. And then lastly, we just need to pass a type, which is our type. And I have that type to be either video, channel, or playlist, since that's all it can be. So we can go ahead then and close that out. And then now the next thing that we're going to want to go ahead and do is say if the response.data.items is not equal to undefined, we can go ahead and create a little loop here. So we can go ahead and say for let I equals 0, I is less than response.data.items.length, and increment I. we can go ahead and print out some data with this YouTube video that we found in our search. So we can start with by saying that this is going to be console.log YouTube search result number, and then we can just go ahead and pass in I as the next argument. And then what we can go ahead here then is just say the next thing. We can just go ahead and start printing out some data about what we have found. So we can go ahead here and say, I'll go ahead and actually pull up again the video search response, and I'll go ahead and drag that over here. So that way we can kind of see what we got. We can even pull up our snippet as well. And you can see here, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get the title, description, and the channel title, and then if they are live. So let's go ahead and say channel, and this will be the response.data.items of I dot snippet dot, and then this will be channel title. So then I'm actually going to go ahead, I'm going to copy all of this here, as we're going to go ahead and use this quite a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and keep repeating this process. And I'm going to say the title of the video is this .title, and then console.log description, which we might not get the full description, but we will at least get the first chunk of it. So you'll see what I mean by that when we go ahead and test this code. And then the last thing that we're going to want to do is go ahead and say, are they live? And this I can say this, and then live broadcast content. So this right here is actually all that we're going to need to go ahead and do for going through each of our results. And then this will go ahead and just print out everything here. We can even go ahead and just add a console.log with a new line just to make sure we space out everything and our results are really easy to read. So with that, now we can just go down here and say in our search for video, which we are already taking in a video title that we are trying to search by, we can just say, we can go ahead and just get our function name up here. I already forgot it, so I just had to double check. We can just say YouTube search, which will be the search input, which will be the video title. And then we just want to pass in video as the second option. And just like that, this will go ahead and take care of the rest. So let's go ahead and start testing. So I've gone ahead here inside of the index.ts file, and I've gone ahead and commented out our function calls to testing the channel ID. And I've now created a new one here to test the video search. All I'm going to do is just pass in a video title and see how it works. So if you are familiar with my channel, you know I did have a series on the StartGG API that I covered quite thoroughly, and I've tried to make sure that it is really easy to follow. Just that way, it is, with it being a popular esports website for hosting competitive tournaments, I figured why not make a video series on it. But now let's see if the YouTube API can go ahead and find it. So again, to run the program, we just say npm start. We're going to go ahead and give it a few seconds, and there we go. It looks like we got some results. So I'll go ahead and make this a little bit bigger for all of us to see. And you can go ahead here and see that we did get 5 search results. We got the first 5, and luckily all 5 of them do belong to my channel. If you want to verify this, you can go ahead and check out to make sure these videos are on my channel, but you can go ahead and see here that we have the video title, the description, or at least the first chunk of it before it gets truncated, and we then check to see are they live? None, which means that we are not currently live. Otherwise then, this looks pretty good. As a little bit of a fun bonus exercise, I challenge you to go ahead and change this StartGG API to be your favorite YouTube videos. This could be from your favorite YouTubers or just a standalone video that you really like. It could be anything, and you can go ahead and see what search results you get. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss out on any future API tutorials for this series. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, and I will try to answer them in a timely manner. Until next time, my name is TitanHawk17, wishing you all a fantastic rest of your day, wherever you may be.